Hello folks, and welcome back to the Speed Shack. Today's video, we're going to answer a question that literally nobody is asking. This question: can you dimple dye without dimple dyes? See? We ask the important questions here. And the obvious answer is no, don't be so bloody stupid. But I bet you can. Maybe not properly, maybe not quite so neatly. But if you haven't got a dimple dye, and you really want to put a dimple dye effect, or you want to form a piece of sheet steel like you would with a dimple dye, how the hell are you going to do it? I think it can be done with a couple of sockets. Pressing one into the other. We've got a big press, we've got some impact sockets. I need to make a strut tower reinforcement plate for the E30. So why not give it a shot? May as well make a useful panel instead of just a test piece. So in this video, we are going to make the reinforcement plates for the strut tower to inner wing for the E30, and we are going to try to dimple dye without dimple dyes. Yes, we are that stupid. We're going to give it a bash. Join us for the video and let's see what we can't mess up. We have our card, we have a pen, we have the strut tower, and we have an inner wing. This should be a fairly straightforward thing to mock up. Where's she gotta go? We'll put it that way round so we've got a nice fresh edge on the card, not one that we've already bastardised. Right, so that wants to sit on the inner wing. My card's gone flaccid. No. Can you tell what it is yet? This is a lot more difficult with a bloody flaccid piece of crap card. Grr. Right. Now we want to know where the top of the strut is. If we put a mark on the car bodywork where the end of the line is, we've got a reference point to go to. And we can put a couple of marks on here for the strut tower. It helps if you've got a little bit of a dirty finger, because that way you can give it a rub round. I know it's not a finger, it's a thumb for those that want to point that out. And we'll just give that a little bit of a workaround so we've got a rough edge to go at. Over to the bench. Right, let's try it in position. As you can see, we are too big by quite a margin. And the easiest way for us to get around this is if we fold this edge down, we can essentially move it away from the strut tower, because the profile on the strut tower itself looks pretty damn good. That's not bad at all. It's a little bit of finessing here to remove a little bit of the gap here. Maybe this corner just wants a little trim, but that looks pretty good. And we'll put a return bend on here. We'll put a return bend down this side so it gives the panel a little bit more strength. Right, we now have some bends in said cardboard panel. And that, to me, looks like it fits absolutely beautifully. Happy days. If only we had some dimple dyes. Make a lovely job with some dimple dyes. That right there. That's the puppy for me. And we mustn't forget that there are bolts going to be coming through this inner wing to attach the outer wing, and if we just weld this on here, we're going to have a problem with those hitting it. So we need to make some clearance cuts for those bolts, which are going to go for there and there. And we are going to put a couple of marks just on here so we know where we're going to. In fact, we're going to draw around the whole bloody thing because we feel like doing that. Right, now we've burned a hole in our coat. Oh no! That is why you shouldn't wear synthetic fabrics when you're grinding, because this shit burns. I was lucky. Anyway, the strut tower reinforcement plate is done. It is pretty damn sturdy, but I would like to put some dimple dies into this. However, there is a problem. We don't have any dimple dies. Oh, you can see where this is going, can't you? So I'm going to try a little experiment with a couple of impact sockets, and we will have just over 20mm diameter hole. What size are we actually? That will be a 25mm diameter hole, so 1-inch hole, and this fits into this big old socket quite nicely. So what I'm hoping is that we'll stick it on the press, we will drill a hole through this about 20mm in diameter, and then we will push this with the press through that hole, which should flare that material down. Now it might put that hex shape into the panel, but I think it's worth a shot, and it's definitely something we're going to make on the lathe shortly, within the next few videos I would think, because dimple dies would be quite useful for this. So let's give it a shot, see where we get to. place, that doesn't look too shabby at all. So as you can see, you can dimple die without dimple dies. Pushing a socket through into another socket will give you a similar effect to a dimple die and puts an awful lot of rigidity into the panel. What it doesn't do is self-centralize like a dimple die does. As you can see in this video, if you are offset with that top socket, it will go through offset and you'll have to manually beat the radius into the panel, which doesn't give the best of finishes. I've been quite lucky on this and we've made it work just about. This one has turned out much, much better and didn't require any finessing with a ball peen hammer. So it can be done. It's just tricky. And if it's something that's critical and you've got to get it right first time, this might not be the way to do it. However, if it is making some strut tower reinforcement plates for the E30 that you're not really fussed if you have to do them again because it doesn't take that long to do them in the first place, then shit, give it a bash. What's the worst that can happen? Thank you very much for watching, folks. We are going to call it a day there. My work here is done. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be getting more progress on this engine bay very soon. Thank you once again, folks. See you soon.